Yo, what is up guys, and welcome back to round number 9 of the F1 Esports World Championship in 2025. And as you can see, heading out once again for Q1 around one of my best tracks. Well, actually, my best track in F1 Esports. We've won it 3 times before in 2020, 2021 and 2022. Last year though, we disconnected from the race, unfortunately. Had lots of PC issues anyway, that whole event. So, yeah, that was unfortunate. Would have loved to keep the streak going, but we're gonna try and continue winning here in Mexico. And as you can see, we need to. We're 10 points behind in the championship, behind Thomas Ronhaar, 4 points behind Ismail Fassi, and in the constructors, we are 28 points behind Mercedes and 25 points ahead of Ferrari. So we've got work to do in the final event of the F1 Esports World Championship. Yeah, as you can see, it's still really close. Out of the 30 drivers in F1 Esports, all 30 of them can still become world champion because Thomas is leading by 98 points. Obviously getting 25 points for a race win, just based on the race win points. Someone could already become world champion, and there's 4 extra points for qualifying. 1 point for pole position, of course, with 4 races to go, and then there's an extra point for the fastest lap in the top 10. So, yes, still lots of points to be scored. Nothing has been decided, and that means this final event is going to be the most important by far. Nothing has been won or lost yet, and every single move we make from here on, every single corner we drive, is going to be crucial for the championship. So it all starts here in Q1. Every little mistake will have a direct effect to the championship. And here we start then our first Q1 run. And it's crucial that we get into Q2 on a single set of tires. Not just to make it into Q2, but also on a single set of tires. Because if we want to be fighting for pole position, if we want to get that extra point, we need that extra set of tires. Because on a single set of tires, it is nearly impossible to get pole position on a grid like this, where it is so close. So into sector 2 we go. We are 110 down on the Ferrari of Nicolas Longuet, but that is not too important. Simply due to the fact it's such a long straight that a few clicks on the front and rear wing can have that effect of a 110 gain or loss. So we're really gonna have to wait and see what the total lap time is gonna be, as we had a huge moment there in one of the fastest corners on the track. So that definitely was a big time loss. And into the last sector we're gonna go 800s down on Lucas Blakely, who is only in P15 as well. So this has been a terrible lap so far, and a terrible start to event number 3. And we're gonna come across the line to finish our lap, and it's a 112.758. We did gain quite a lot there in the final sector, so perhaps we're running higher wings than everyone else. But yeah, we're gonna have to improve on that and use another set of tires. Unfortunately, into the final sector we go. Ismail Fassi, our championship rival, goes to the top of the timing sheets, and we are all the way down to P18. 2 tenths up on our lap time. Make that P19, make that P20. This lap is crucial, and across the line we go. It is P2, and with just a 2/10 improvement, we went from P20 to P2. Crazy stuff. 2 tenths made the difference between P20 and P2. You can see how close it is. It's absolutely ridiculous. Joshido, Alvaro Caraton, Istvan Pukki, Ben Sabo, Konyi, and Brendan Lee in his final F1 Esports event down in Q1 here in Mexico. And yeah, we saw how close it is there at the end of Q1. It is crazy, and that means we need to be on our A level today. We need to be driving 10 out of 10 to qualify up top, because it is so close. We cannot afford any mistakes today. The banker lap on that new set of tires was not great either. We're only in P8. New set of tires though, and we put it in P7 again. Not good enough. We're gonna have to lock in again for this final run. Only P7, that is not gonna be enough to make it into Q3. So a new set of tires go on again, and that means we're only gonna have one new set of tires for Q3, and that makes it really tough to get pole position again here in Mexico. Into turn 1 we go then. Really aggressive on the steering inputs to slow the car down. And through the first 3 corners we go. We've lost 300s, even though that was fairly clean. Just not enough minimum speed carried. Into sector 2 we go then. Nothing has been won or lost yet. You see there, a little bit of a gain, 2 300s. Again, really aggressive on the steering input to slow the car down. And we're equal on our lap time. So we're gonna have to improve here in the second half of the lap. That was really clean. And you can straight away see that's a 200 gain, even though it's such a simple corner. 300s up as we head into the final sector. Every thousandth of a second is gonna matter here. We're gonna have to do everything inch perfect. Into the final sector we go, aggressive on the turn-in. On both the right and the left-hander. And now, I knew I had to send it in this final corner if we want to make it through. You can see half a 10 gain into the final corner. Across the line we go, and we have just about made it through. And that was such a clean lap. There was no mistakes in that. Just lacking pace. So yeah, that does not offer a lot of good here for Q3. Because I felt like that was a near perfect lap, and we're 2 tenths down to P1. So quite the change from Q1, where I felt like I did a good lap there at the end of Q1, and we obviously were P2, so it was a good lap. But then in Q2 there, it just wasn't there. The pace was not there. A 1:12.4. Used tires, start of Q3, it's a 1:12.6. That is not too bad, but it doesn't matter. It's not important at all, because we're driving on the softest compound here in Mexico, and that means new tires is going to be a big time gain. We're P5 on the grid at the moment on used tires, and this is the one where it counts. An extra point in the championship would be lovely, of course. Easy said and done. We have had no pole position so far this year. We've had the chance a few times, thinking about Jeddah and Kota. Just haven't been able to hook it up so far, but looks like today it's going to be very, very tough to get pole position, lacking some pace in Q2 already. We head into sector 2. We're 110 up in turn 1, 2, 3, and that is good. That's very solid at 27.759. That is obviously down to most people, but it looks so far like we've been running higher wings, and that's why the rest of the lap is going to come towards us. A 112.163 from Otis Lawrence, and that is a really, really strong lap. It's going to be tough to beat that. But we're obviously going to try and do that. Into the final sector we're going to go. We're going to have to improve 5 tenths to our delta, so another 2.5 tenths if we want to get pole position. And we send it into the right-hander, losing the rear a little bit there as we're pushing towards the limit. Purple middle sector as we head into the final corner. Let's see how much more we can gain. It's going to be 4 tenths up, slightly more than 4 tenths up. It's not going to be enough for pole position. It is P4 on the grid. Make that P5 as Thomas Ronhaar, championship leader, gains another point on us with that pole position. Unfortunately, we're 1.2 tenths away from pole. And yeah, I think even with an extra set of tires, we would have not gotten that pole position today. Just didn't have the pace today. Freddie in P3, he did have 2 sets of tires, but I felt like I got the lap together nicely there, and the pace was just not there. Felt like this whole quali session, every time it mattered, every time the pressure was on, I delivered, but the pace is just lacking. Just 1.5 tenths of the pace. Maybe it was set up, maybe it was driving somewhere, not sure. Anyway, it's not relevant at this point anymore, because the race is where the big points are scored, and the race is where we need to fight back in the championship. 11 points behind now. Ismail Fassi in P6, 1 position behind us, and it just seems like at this point in time, Thomas, Ismail are just not making any mistakes. They're constantly there in qualifying, constantly at the top, and as you can see, no post-qualifying penalties. So we're starting in P5 on the medium compound. Ismail Fassi next to us though on the hard compound. So that's going to be an interesting one. Off the line we're going to go on the mediums. That's a good start for us. slightly better than Barry Borman of the line. And now we're getting a nice toe from our teammate Freddie Rasmussen into turn 1. You can see we've out-dragged Barry Borman into turn 1. Can we take the lead into turn 1 straight away down the inside? But I knew this is going to be a long race. Because Freddie down on the inside, obviously giving him as much space as possible. We've gained the position already. And yeah, 36 lap race. I was like, into turn 1, you know, we can take the lead, but let's play it smart. A lot of incidents in the past few years in turn 1 Mexico. And I knew, starting top 5, that we were going to have a really good chance of winning, having won it 3 times before. So yeah, just playing the patient game, and playing the long game here as well. I already knew straight away at this point I was going to go longer than anyone else on this medium set of tires. We have a pace advantage in the race, that's no secret. We're just better than others in the race relative to qualifying. So if we can qualify well, I just know every time heading into the race that we have the capabilities of winning. And this year so far, we've just not done it. We've not done well enough in the race. I've not executed the races well enough. And if we want to win this World Championship, that's going to have to change. 13 laps into the race, absolutely nothing happened. And that's been a kind of a pattern in F1 Esports. The first 10, 11, 12 laps, nothing happens. Everyone's just in the train until the strategy kicks in and there's a tire delta. Barry Borman boxing behind us from P5 together with Merc and I think either an Alpine or an RB car. It's quite tough to see. There's so many blue cars on the minimap. It does not make it easy. But it's definitely not me and Freddie Rasmussen. And yeah, we're gonna go long in this first hit, both me and Fred. As Otis Lawrence boxes from the lead of the race. We're gonna stay out one more once again. Otis covering up the undercut. We're gonna go long. Thomas boxing at the end of lap 15. And once again, we're gonna continue to do another lap. Duncan Hovland in P5 with a fast lap. Those hards seem to be a good race tire because you can see Duncan Hovland with the fastest lap. At this point, I was struggling on the tires. Freddie boxing at the end of lap 16. Obviously, we're going one longer. 17 is the lap we're gonna box. Going an extra lap after that would be very extreme. But yeah, we've got overtaking to do. There's no doubt about it. Again, just like Kota, a big undercut on this track. Softest compounds available. You can see the rear is not gripping up anymore going through turn 1, 2, 3. But I knew what I signed up for. I knew this was going to be tough, especially in those last 1, 2 laps on this set of tires. So yeah, but it's going to be the same on the hards. Obviously slightly less bad, and that's why I've gone long. I want to have good tires in the last few laps of this race.
Let's have you in at the end of this lap, please.
We got our championship rival Isma Fassi right on our gearbox. You can see how many corrections we have to make going through basically every corner at this point. The rear tires are completely gone. And that's why we're going to be boxing. We're going to come out near the back, I think so, near last place. That's obviously not going to be our true position because there's still a lot of cars behind us on the hard compound. But from the people who started on the mediums, we're going to come out in near last place because Freddie came out, I think, in third last. He was ahead of us and he boxed a lap earlier. So let's see where we're going to come out on a new set of the hard tires. 19 laps we're going to have to do on those. And you can see Freddie Rasmussen, P18 right there.
In the pits, and the team will be hoping they can get back into action as fast as possible so they don't lose too much time from this stop.
Cheers, Crofty. And yeah, Freddie Rasmussen, our teammate, P18 right there. Crucially for us, Istvan Pukki went out in Q1 and Danny Bresny went out in Q2. That's good for the constructors if they do not score well and we score well. So let's see what we can do here. Istvan Pukki right at the back there. I'm not sure when he boxed. There was quite a lot of fighting going on, I think, up front of this train. And I think 1 or 2 laps ago, Istvan and Josh were not on DRS, and now they are. And that's not ideal for our race, because that's going to make it tougher to overtake. But we do have the tire advantage, and that might come in clutch here. So yeah, let's see how fast we can start overtaking East Van Poeking. We do have to warm up our tires a little bit, of course, and we're taking our time. We do not want to destroy these tires instantly. We want to keep the tire advantage for as long as we can. In Kota, of course, I pushed incredibly hard to try and get past Barry Bormond. I mean, completely destroyed our tires while doing so, as Istvan knows we're coming, knows we're going to have a chance on this very next straight, and that's why he's going for the move on Josh Idowu. So we're going to turn on the overtake button. Nearly a full battery for us. And we got the first hard runners boxing there, Alfie Butcher and Tom Manley at the end of lap 18. So they're going to do 18 laps on a set of mediums. That's long. That's very long for that set of tires. Into turn 1 we go, down the inside of East Van Poeking. He's not going to make it easy for us, of course, because we are rivals in the team championship. A little bit of argy-bargy to turn 1, 2, 3, but we make the move and up to P17 we go. That's not an actual P17, as I've said before. That's like a net P10, I think so, as Ulas and Josh are battling hard here in this slow section of the track. Josh getting a track limit penalty that obviously will be removed. But yeah, they're forced into battling at this point because they know I'm coming on a fresh set of tires, and they know it's going to be tough to keep us behind because we've got such a tire advantage. So teammate Freddy is making good progress as well. That is crucial for our race and for the team championship. So straight away we're going to go for another move into turn number 1 on Josh Idowu. We got a decent run out of the final corner. Personal best lap time for us, even though we had to overtake Istvan into turn 1. But you can see not much of a challenge offered by Josh, and yeah, it seems like we had quite a bit of a straight line advantage. Josh not wanting to use his battery on us. Kind of makes sense, of course, because we're on so much fresher tires. So next up, Ulas Zildrim. If we can just keep making moves into turn 1, that's crucial. That will be really nice because we still got 17 laps to go, and we only got around 7-8 cars ahead of us. So yeah, we just need to keep making moves. 1 per lap would be nice. No need to do anything crazy. No need to take any big risk. The people with box for mediums obviously will have good pace for a few laps, but because we're running on the softest compounds around Mexico, the mediums are really soft and they're going to disintegrate fast. We saw that in our first stint. That they're not a nice tire to be on, and probably the hards are much better race tires. So that's why I wanted them for this last stint. And now we're going to go for the move on Ulas Zildrim. Entire battery is being drained once again. Saw him flash the second we drove past. And that means he's low on battery, and that means we have more battery than him. So up to P8 we go. 2 more cars out on track. If they would do another 2 or 3 more laps, they would be getting put on a pit stop distance due to the high tire wear. We've got such a pace advantage of people who are running on all tires. Had a little look down the inside of Thomas into turn number 4, and you can see his front left end plate was missing. You might be able to see it in the next left-hander again. Danny Bresnay and Freddie Rasmussen going side by side into the stadium section. And all this battling is helping us. Thomas having front wing damage. Crucial for our championship, of course, but we have to keep focused. We have to keep focused on our own race. We have to get past first as well. If we want to win this race. And we're going to drain the battery once again. Into turn number 1. Thomas goes defensive. We get a nice slipstream into turn 1 from Danny Bresnay, and Thomas sends it down the inside. They spin each other around, and that is very lovely for our race. Up to P4 we go. 2 positions for free, basically. And now we're going to restart recharging our battery again. We got 14 laps to go on this race, and we're in P4 on 4 lap fresher tires than Barry. 3 lap fresher tires than Otis, and 1 lap fresher than Freddy, of course. So both me and Freddy are in a crazy good position at this point, and we knew it. So the pressure is going to be on. This is our race to lose, and we can gain back big in the Constructors and in the Driver Championship. Thomas has front wing damage. Might be getting a penalty, of course, as well for that turn 1 incident. And yeah, this is really, really good for the championship. After being 11 points behind going into this, we are suddenly looking at maybe taking the lead of the championship. As Freddy is attacking Otis lap after lap, trying to get P2, trying to get him to use the tires and battery. And again into turn 4, Freddy having a little look. And we're just playing it calm. We're just looking at this point, letting the top 2 stress. You can see they do not want to be in P1, both of them. That was tricky. That was questionable how slow they were going there. Almost took our front wing over there, so we have to be careful there in that particular section, because they're going side by side here, and then they do not want to lead onto the main straight, and then they're both going so slow that you can see them driving all the way around the outside. Just in case they slow down even more, I can avoid them and dive to the outside and go over the track if I need to, so I don't break my front wing. Yeah, we need to get on with it at some point here. And now, me and Freddy are swapping. Freddy has pushed them a lot over the past few laps, and that's crucial for us. Using their tires, using their battery, and now straight away into the stadium section. You can see Otis goes wide, and that is crucial for a race right here, because that means we're gonna have a chance into turn 1. We're gonna go on the battery 8.5 tenths ahead, but we're gonna get a huge slipstream into turn 1 with the help of some DRS. 100% battery coming out of the final corner, and now we're gonna have a go into turn 1. We're gonna have to wait for the green flag. There it is, and now we're gonna go side by side into turn 1. A double move for the race lead. Side by side into turn number 2 again as well. You can see I'm pushing to try and get ahead, and we take the lead for the first time this race on the freshest tires out of the entire grid. Up to P1 we go, and now we can start recharging our battery. Crucial move for this race, crucial move for the championship. You can see Freddy trying to get P3 away from Otis still. He played a crucial part, as we can see again there, letting us go. Otis with the mistake in the stadium section, and that gave us the race lead. Otherwise, if any of these scenarios did not happen, we arguably could have not taken the race lead here. It was crucial, and now you can see into the final sector, we're nearly 9 tenths ahead. We got such a big tire advantage. Obviously Barry probably recharging his battery, trying to keep his tires alive as well until the last few laps of this race. He has boxed really early, and he's gonna struggle on tires for the rest of this race, but we have to play it smart here. Perhaps we could have broken the DRS there, maybe not, I'm not sure. But if we did, then that's suddenly Otis behind us again, on a 1 lap tire advantage over Barry, and that's not what we want. We want Barry behind us, or Freddy, of course, so that we can be safe in this last lap. DRS is incredibly strong, slipstream is incredibly strong, and that means that we need a decent gap into the final corner of this race, because over the past few years it's been quite rare that you lead into the last lap in league racing and F1 Esports and win the race, because of that double DRS detection zone, huge straight, and then another straight with DRS after turn number 3. And now you can see Barry 5 tenths behind. This is the closest he's been so far, and I know we have to nail the next few corners if we want to win this race. You can see I'm pushing now. This is the hardest we've pushed. We nail the apex of the left-hander, nail the apex of the right-hander, and Barry is still close. He's just been saving tires this wall time. We're going to go on the power. You can see the backhand wants to break away from us, and we have to go defensive. We have to break the toe into turn number 1. The question is now, does Barry have the ERS left? Has he used too much ERS to try and close the gap to us? And that seems to be the case. Huge straight line speed advantage for us into turn number 1. Bit of help with the setup as well, of course. Bit of help of some ERS management perhaps. But that was a huge difference in straight line speed. We entered the straight with a 4.5 tenths gap, and we ended the straight with a 3.5 tenths gap. So, yeah, that was crazy. I expected at least some challenge into turn 1, and it never came. So yeah, crucial race in the championship, and a crucial race in the Constructors' Championship as well, because as you can see that Merc being in 3rd last place. I'm not sure where the other Merc is, as I'm just going defensive into the final stadium section, just making sure Abari does not do anything stupid, but he's experienced as well, or experienced enough as well to know that going for a huge dive there won't work.
The next one.
And it's a 25-point gain in the championship. 24 if you count Thomas's pole position point. Ismail Fassi in P7, scoring 6 points. He is going to be equal with Thomas in the championship after that. And we are going to be 14 points ahead, if my calculations are right. And yeah, as you can see there, 14 points ahead in the championship. It's 1 point less for Ismail Fassi compared to Thomas, obviously, because Thomas got the pole position fast lap. And yeah, one of the most crucial wins in my F1 Esports career, probably. We still got 3 races to go. 81 points to be scored, sorry. If you count fastest lap and pole position points. So nothing has been won yet, but it seems like the momentum has shifted with us. A huge swing in the championship, and we've now taken the lead of the Constructors' Championship as well. Don't forget, we were over 50 points behind at some point, and now we're suddenly leading by 9 points. Again, nothing's been decided yet, but suddenly the championship is looking very, very good for us. The momentum is there. You can see Freddy suddenly P8 in the championship as well. But don't forget, Freddy did not score any points or he scored 1 point in the first 4 races. Suddenly he's P8 in the championship. And yeah, it looks like we've really turned things around from the first few races. And next up is going to be Brazil. Always an interesting race. Obviously, a lot of rain there over the past few years. Last 2 races are Qatar and Abu Dhabi. Not a lot of rain there usually. But it's not impossible. So we're going to have to wait and see what happens in those races. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe. And see you guys next time. Ciao.